feels so abstract. Yeah, it's complicated. What you say, the way you act, well, it makes me so confused. I don't know what to do anymore. Can't you just make up your mind? My heart drops when you play around. How can you be up when I'm down? Don't wanna think about it right now. Maybe you just wanna be friends, but there's a fight when we are talking. Maybe you just wanna pretend, but I can read between the lines. Even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting, still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. How it hurts to see you smile, like a dagger in me. She just seems so juvenile. I just want it to be me. I wanna set your world on fire. Oh, just so sure I'll stick around. Oh, my heart drops when you play around. How can you be up when I'm down? Don't wanna think about it right now. Maybe you just wanna be friends, but there's a fight when we are talking. Maybe you just wanna pretend, but I can read between the lines. Even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting, still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. Oh, even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting, still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's be free with Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you all had a fabulous lunch and that you're not too full so you won't be too sleepy in the afternoon. Definitely get a shot of caffeine with your soda or coffee or whatever it is that you like to drink. And we are going to get pumped up for the rest of the afternoon. We have still so many different sponsors to present. And so, yay, super excited. I love to see in the chat who is having fun so far, who's already starting to shop for their Christmas holidays, and who is just loving all of the techniques that we have been learning so far today. Awesome. So glad you guys are here. For those of you who don't know, my name is Brandy Mahon. I am the creative owner of Stamp Me Some Love blog, shop, and academy. And I host the Card Makers Success Summit twice a year. And then we have demo twice a year, demo day twice a year. So really excited you guys are here. Our next guest, I've been watching her backstage and she's been jamming. So I think she's ready. And we are going to bring to the stage Angie Hunt from LDRS Creative. All right, give me a big thumbs up if you are ready to come to stage. Yep, she's ready. Are you guys ready? Let's do it.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I was enjoying the music you had going on.
I know you thought nobody was watching, didn't you?
You know, you just got to go through life and dance like nobody's watching, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, here, let's take down the masterclass link and then let's put up the promo. There she is on it, I tell you what. So you guys, we have a fabulous promotion from LDRS Creative, and it is scrolling across the screen. Be sure to use that link and that promo code to get, let's see, I have forgotten already how much you are giving off today. It's so exciting to see what sponsors are willing to discount their products to, and it looks like 20% off. That's amazing. That's like a Black Friday. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Blue Light Special.
Well, you know, I'm so excited to be back again, doing this with you guys again. And, you know, we want to do everything that we can to make it easy for everybody to, you know, get their hands on our products, especially with the holidays coming up. It's a perfect time to, you know, get some stuff for your card making and, you know, for gifts for people too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've all been saying about shopping for ourselves, but these types of deals are great for stocking stuffers for your, you know, crafter in your life, your bestie or whatever. So definitely take advantage of it.
Yeah, and the discount is good on absolutely everything in the store too.
Awesome, awesome. Now, also, folks, don't forget that everything that Angie is going to be showing us today, all the products and stuff are on our Shop the Demo page. So I'll only see if Harriet can put that back up on the screen. It's cardmakersuccesssummit.com/shop the demo. All right, Angie, I'm going to let you have center stage. I'm going to pop out while you have the full screen.
All right. All righty. I'm ready.
All right.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Like I said, it is so great to be back. Lots of fun, you know, to be here with you guys. I know how, you know, how many, you know, people are, you know, many of us, like others like me, like, you know, Nikki from Polka Doodles and everybody coming on to craft with you guys. And that really is like the most fun part for me. It's, you know, it's showing you how to use the products and also showing you, you know, maybe some techniques that you haven't seen before. I don't know, maybe I'll make a mistake and show you how I fix it. We'll see, because I tend to do that a lot lately. But for those of you that aren't familiar with LDRS Creative, I am Angie Hunt, and we are located in Michigan, and we've been around for quite some time now. We've got a whole, you know, bunch of, you know, different products, stamps, dies, stencils, you know, all kinds of stuff. So, you know, I think one of the things about our products that sets us apart, at least I would say about the way that we design our products is, you know, we want people to look at it as, you know, not just, you know, buy this product, use it a few times, and then move on to the next product. When we design things, we design kind of backwards thinking and forward thinking, so that, you know, it's, yeah, we've got a lot of things within each collection that can be used together. They can be used individually as well. But we design things so that you can pull things that you've purchased previously and use those as well. And then we also think about, you know, going forward, you know, how can we mix and match things? Because I don't want you guys to forget about products that you already have in your stash, because that would just be a waste. And that's not what we're all about. So we're going to get started. I'm going to show you some fun I've actually got a lot of things that we're going to be using in here, but we're going to start off with our Hello Sunshine. It is a stamp, stencil, and die set. I'm going to take you through some of the products that I'm going to be using on the project, and then we're going to put it together. So Alan, Mr. Hunt, he is my producer / husband. He's going to take us to camera 2. All right, here we go. This is the Hello Sunshine. It is stamps, stencils, and dies. If you haven't seen our stamp, stencil, die sets, let me give you a quick rundown on how you use these. First of all, a stamp set, you know how to use that. But this is a 4x6 stamp set. We always give you an image on the back that is colored up to give you some inspiration, show you how you can make it look. But the cool thing about these stamp sets is, first of all, we have 4 stamps in here. It looks like there's a lot of images, but there's only 4 stamps. That's because this one right here is one solid stamp, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 images all in one stamp. And then you're also going to get the 3 sentiments. The way that you're going to use that is you're literally just going to stamp it. You're going to have all of those images stamped together. You can color them with markers if you want, or watercolors, but you can also color them with our layering stencils. And I'm going to show you how to do this as well. And I will explain the layering stencils in greater detail once we're going to get to that demo. But there's, excuse me, there's 4 stencils in here that you can layer up to achieve this effect on the back right here. You can see that it has the stamped lines around it, but you can also use the stencils by themselves. And that's where you see this image here. It looks like no line coloring. And will you come in a little bit closer on these so people can see the difference between those? All right, you see how you have the black stamped lines around it here? This one is no line coloring. So if you use the stencils just by themselves, you can achieve a no line coloring look. If you use them to color up your stamped image, you're going to get the effect on the left. So to that effect, you're going to be able to use the stamp by itself. You're going to be able to use the stencils by themselves, or you can use them together. No matter what you decide, you're going to be able to use the dies to use this one large die right here is going to cut out all of those images at the exact same time into separate little pieces. And then we have 2 dies each for the stencils. So you have 1 to cut out, I'm not stencils, I'm sorry, for the sentiments, 1 to cut out the sentiment, and then 1 for a shadow die. The other products I'm going to show you that we're going to be using are, and let me come out a little bit further. There we go. So these are our plaid cover plates. These are A2 size plaid cover plates. We're going to be, I'm going to show you these. These, again, can be used on their own. They can be mixed and matched in any combination to achieve all kinds of beautiful effects. Here's a card that I did in, we do a live Thursday night. This card I just did in our live on Thursday night, and you can see how we created this beautiful Scottish plaid using all 3 of these dies together. And you can layer them up however you want. So this is what we're going to be using to create our background. We're also going to be using our Thankful. This is a big word die set, 5 dies in total. And then we have the coordinating stamps, which we're actually not going to be using the stamps today, but I did want to show you that we have the option there to use those together if you want. And then if there's time, I'm going to show you our A2 envelope dies and the liner dies. So we're going to get started because we don't have a whole lot of time, but I wanted to show you everything that we're going to be using. So let's get going. I've got my little bag of tricks here ready to go. And let's get everything out of there so I don't forget anything. This is what I want to show you now. I've done a lot of the work already because we're going to be short. There's a lot to do and we're kind of short on time. So I want to show you what I have here, what you're going to need. Well, you already have your list of what you're going to need, but here, this is this actually started out, this is my A2 card base. It started out as an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. The cardstock I use is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. I always use the 110 pound. I like how thick it is, but this started out as 8.5 by 11. I cut it at 4.25, and then I scored it at 5.5. And so now we have a top folding tent card. So that's going to work. That's my card base. And, you know, for this card, you can choose whatever color scheme you want. I did go with more of a fall theme for mine, but you can do this in any color scheme you want. You can make Christmas cards out of this, anything for spring. Whenever you want to say something like, I'm thankful for you, you can use any color scheme you want. This, I think it might look like black on camera, but I went with this is actually like a chocolate brown, like a dark chocolate brown. And I cut that to an A2 size. So that is 5.5 by 4.25. That's going to fit right over the top of my card base. I want to show you, the next thing we're going to do is actually a little bit of crafting. We're going to go ahead with, let me pull this out of here. This is Hello Sunshine. This is my well-loved set. So that's why it looks black, because it has the ink stain on it. So I went ahead and I stamped this just in black. You can see one stamp, it stamps everything all together. Alan, will you come in a little bit closer on this one then? So I went ahead and stamped that. Next up, I'm going to show you the stencils. And this is where I told you I was going to go into these in a little more detail. This is my working set. So you're going to see it has a little bit of staining on it. But I want to kind of walk you through these a little bit, if I can catch the light. Our stencils, our layering stencils are going to always be like numbered, alphanumeric. So this is 1A, and you can see how it has all the little images or pieces cut out there where we're going to add color. 1A doesn't have any alignment marks. These are the alignment guides. See, it says alignment guides on there. If you look at 1B, it says 1B on it. That's the next one. Can you see in this image here how some of those are cut out and some of those are just etched in the stencil? Those etchings are your alignment guides, and those etchings are going to line up with your first stencil. So once I stencil the first stencil, I'm going to have an image. I'm going to line up those etchings when I go to stencil 1B, and it's going to line up perfectly. We do it this way so that you can start stenciling anywhere on your page and not worry about lining it up. It makes it super easy. Then we have 2A, you can see those alignment marks, and then we have 2B. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I would go about doing this. I've chosen 4 inks here that I'm going to work with. Again, I told you I've got fall colors here, but you can do this in any color scheme you want. If you want pastels for spring, or if you want to use Christmas colors, it works beautifully. So my first one, I've got a yellow, which is our banana cream pie. Our orange is tangerine dream. The green I chose is olive branch. And then I went with coffee bean. All right, so these are the 4 we're going to use. I'm going to get started with these. Let's move this out of the way. I've got my little brushes. I have one for each color. And what else do I need? I like to tape down my stencil just a little bit to hold it in place, just like so. I can line it up perfectly over my stamped image. Give me just a moment. There we go. Just sort that out a bit. And then I'm going to tape that down. So I'm going to get started with my yellow, and really easily just add some color. So simple, makes it really easy. There we go, nice little circles. Look how easy that is. Perfect. I love layered stenciling. I think it is, it just makes it all so easy. I'm going to go ahead and wipe this clean a little bit. You can see how perfectly everything lines up on there. Now I'm going to go to my next stencil, which is 1B. I'm going to reuse my tape because we don't want to waste, right? Now I'm going to use those alignment guides that are on 1B, and I'm going to line those alignment guides up perfectly over that yellow that I just stenciled. There we go. Get that tape down a little bit. Now I'm going to go to my orange, which is Tangerine Dream. If you wanted to do yours in solid color, like use yellow again, you can absolutely do that. You don't have to use multiple colors, but we have designed the stencils so that you have that option. All right, that's all there is to it. Just that little bit right there. I'm going to go ahead and wipe the excess off. There we go. And then we can keep going with these. I'm going to go ahead and line up stencil 2A. There we go. Oh, Just tweak that. There we go. Little bit there. Now here, this stencil, you can use multiple colors on it if you want, because we have leaves in here, but we also have like the centers of our flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and do, let me see, I'm going to do the center of my flowers. I was going to do them in orange, but I think I have them in yellow. I'm going to do them in the yellow. And I'm going to add a little bit of tape in here. This is optional if you want. I don't have like teeny tiny little stencil brushes. So I'm just going to kind of mask off some areas where I don't want to get color. And I'm going to use my tape to do that. So just a tiny little bit right here. I'm masking off any little leafy areas or stems where I don't want to get the color, and I want to make sure that I can get color on these little buds. So you're just going to do a little bit of masking like that. I'm going to get yellow in the center. If you want to do yours in a brown or any other color, you can absolutely do that. I chose yellow. A little bit right there, and then a little bit right up here. All right. And then I'm going to wipe off the excess before I move to my next color, because I don't want that excess that I have on my stencil to combine with the next color that I lay down. So I'm going to move my little pieces of tape now, and I'm going to cover up what I just stenciled, those little buds, right? Because now I want to do the green areas where I'm going to have some leafy areas or stems. All right. So I'm just going to cover up this little center here. And I know this part might seem a little bit tedious, but it's worth it. And you can see how quickly I'm able to do it too. So my next color is going to be the green. And I'm going to get all these little leaves and the stems. All right. So you can really see how quickly, when you have layering stencils, you can mass produce. If I wanted to, stamp multiple images at one time, let's say I want to make 10 cards or 20 cards, I can stamp out 20 of my flowers, and then I can stencil with, stencil 1A on each of those, and then I can move to 1B on each of those. It's a really easy way to mass produce and get a lot of beautiful color down, and get a lot of detail on there as well. So I'm going to move this one over now. And now I'm going to go to stencil 2B. And I'm going to use my alignment guides to make sure that I am lined up properly everywhere here. I can see those alignment guides. I don't think you guys can see them on camera very well, but I can see them. Got a lot of lighting in the studio, bright lighting. So sometimes it doesn't pick up on the camera really well. So let's see. Now I'm going to be working with two colors. I've got my green again that I'm going to work with to get some darker green in some of these leafy areas here. Actually, I have three colors I'm going to be working with. All right, so there's that.
Angie?
Yes.
We've had a couple of questions come through asking about what you're using to clean the stencil. And are you putting any kind of cleaner on that microfiber cloth?
No, it's just a microfiber cloth. This one's actually lawn fawn, to be honest with you. I have had this for forever, and that's why it looks so bad. But it's just water. All I'm doing is wiping this with water. So this is wet. This dries like really hard and like really solid, and you just soak it in some water, and then it's awesome. You can use any microfiber cloth. It can be any brand. They all work the same. They're really nice. But yeah, there's no cleaning solution or anything on that at all. Let me grab this. I'm almost forgot. I do need to put a little bit of yellow right here on these two flowers that I kind of missed. I shouldn't say I missed, but when I said I was going to use only 2 colors, I forgot that I needed a little more yellow on those. And then the centers here on these flowers are open. So that's why I have this brown, because I think it's so pretty to have those dark little centers of those flowers. All right, so let me just wipe this up here. Now our hybrid inks, I am using a hybrid ink. Our hybrid ink is a combination ink. It's a combination of a pigment and a dye ink, which means that you can use it for all kinds of applications, kind of a go-to ink pad. So I can use this if I'm stenciling, color blending beautifully in the background. If I'm going to be coloring with alcohol markers, I can stamp with this first. If I'm going to be coloring with watercolors, perfect. Glossy surfaces. If I'm going to be stamping on fabrics and, you know, I mean, all kinds of stuff, wood, all kinds of things. It's just really a go-to ink. So this is what we have now. Look how pretty, how gorgeous that is. And so then the dye, let me move this over here. The dye will fit over this just perfectly. And then I'm going to show you what you get. I'm not going to go through the die cutting because I don't want to spend the time. I already have it die cut, but you can see that this is one die, right? And this lays over here absolutely perfectly. And when you run it through your die cutting machine, you're going to get all of these little pieces right here. Where are they? Right here. And they're going to be perfectly cut. One pass through your die cutting machine, and it's going to cut all of those out individually for you. That's the beauty and the power of having the stamps or the images all in one stamp, so you can use the die, one pass through the machine. You don't have to keep going through over and over and over again. We know what a, you know, it's just kind of a time saver, I guess. And it also saves your, you know, your arm if you're using a hand crank, right? Okay, so we have these. Here's our flowers. Next up, I wanted to show you what I'm going to have in my background. See these right here? These, still cleaning up. These are my beautiful plaid dies. Now, I showed you in the card that I did on our Thursday Live, I showed you how I created this with multiple colors, Christmas colors, so gorgeous. I chose to do this card with just white because I love having a layered white background, especially if I'm going to do something like this in the foreground. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to tell you how I did that in a moment. So I went ahead with cover plate 1. This is number 1. This one is number 2. You can see how beautiful it is. And this one is number 3. And the really cool thing about these is I can arrange these in any order that I want. See how pretty that is? It creates gorgeous plaids. And no matter how I layer these, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 3, 2, whatever order, or if it's just 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 or 3 and 1, whatever it is you want to do, you're going to be able to always see bits and pieces of each one of these through, but it creates a different look and a different pattern. And you can imagine what that would look like in multiple colors. Isn't that so beautiful? I love our layering cover plates. I think this plaid set is our 3rd set that we've done. So I'm going to go ahead and actually start assembling this card. Now these, if you think these look a little bit thick, I did these with Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock again. And I actually cut them twice and I just glued them together. That's all it is. So I have 2 of them layered up because I wanted to have some bulk on my card. And I really wanted to have a lot of dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting this together. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this on here. It's going to fit beautifully. This gives me a nice background. Now, if I had these, let me show you this on the back of the card. If I just put these white on white, this is what it would look like. Isn't it so pretty? But if I put them on the brown, now I get just a little more texture there, and it looks really cool. So I'm going to layer these up. Let me get some adhesive. I'm going to use our liquid craft glue. This goes on white, but it dries clear. Being white for me is perfect because I need to be able to see where I've placed it. If it started out clear, I'm not sure that would work so well for me. My eyes don't see so well these days. All right, so just a little bit of adhesive there. And I'm going to place this on here. And line that up. And I'm going to go ahead and move this just slightly. I don't think I have it lined up perfectly. Now this one I'm going to now set aside. I'm going to hold it down for a moment. Got to start that adhesion there. Adhesion, is that a word? Adhesion? Now you can see where I have some glue sneaking out here a bit, but I'm not going to worry about it because it is going to dry clear. But I'm going to put this on top of it and let that sit for a moment. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start adhering these two. So I'm going to put the one that is going to go on the top is the one that I want to put the glue on the back of. That way I can make sure that I'm not going to have glue in the wrong places. All right. Nothing like watching me put glue on something, right? Isn't that exciting? All right. Lay these two on each other now. And yes, I just wipe glue all over myself. I don't worry about it. It's glue, it's crafting. It's like wiping love all over yourself. All right. Make sure that stays where it needs to. Give that a moment. And I think we're going to be good on this one. They really do dry pretty quickly, this glue. Now this one, because it's going to go on the top, I'm going to place the glue on the back of this one. I think it's important to put the glue on the top piece because if I put it on the bottom, I don't know where I'm going to be laying this, right? Let's get some in the center here. Make sure we just have enough to kind of hold it. It doesn't have to be on every single line, but I want to make sure I have it a little bit everywhere. And then let's go ahead here. There we go. Sorry, I get quiet when I'm lining things up. All right. Now, I doubled everything up with each of these because on camera, white doesn't always show perfectly. You know, it doesn't show the depth. And I really wanted to make sure that you guys could see the depth. When you guys create this at home, you don't have to double up all of your cover plate pieces. You can just do those in singles. That way you don't create such a huge and thick card. But I wanted you guys to be able to see it. So next up, I want to show you what I did with this big word thankful, because this is really, really fun. So I went ahead, I chose an orange and I cut it a few times. And then I also, oh, Alan, will you do me a favor? Will you grab my glossy accents over there at my craft desk there? Because I forgot. So I cut it a few times. And one of these, I went ahead and I coated it. I did this the night before, so you do have to prep this. I coated it with glossy accents. And I let it sit and dry for 24 hours, and now it looks like this. Okay, isn't that gorgeous? And I did cut this a few times and I glued them together like I just showed you I did with the cover plates, just so I had some thickness. But I wanted to show you it started out like this, and I put the glossy accents on it, let it dry, and now it looks like it's lacquered, and it's just so pretty. The next thing I'm going to do is just give this a little bit of a shadow. Now in this die set, we do have a large shadow die, but for this card, I didn't want it to be, I wanted it to only be, I wanted that shadow off to one side, and I wanted it to be a little bit tighter, not quite as thick. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of adhesive on here, and I want it to be kind of on this side, like toward the left side. And we're going to put this little shadow piece on here. I love a lot of dimension. I love shadowing things. I love texture. I love it all. And so now I'm going to lay this piece on here and just have it slid over a tiny bit to the left. And look at how that really pops. See how that really shows that up, especially when I put that on white. And then it really adds another color. It brings it all together. And so when you look at the card topper or the card base here, where you have that brown coming through, now it really is tied together with that thankful and the brown on the front. I think it's so pretty. So even though we have a lot of texture back here, it's going to start to kind of fade into the background just a little bit. I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to let that dry. Next, I did the same kind of thing with we have 3 other dies in here. They say sew 4 in U. And I went ahead and cut the 4 and the U right here out of white. And then I also cut it out of the brown. All right. And I'm going to do the same thing with these, where I'm going to kind of stagger those a little bit so that we get that little bit of shadow on them, a little bit of adhesive. So you can see from this, you really don't need a whole lot of tools. I mean, it's just a lot of, you're just going to adhere these together. Not a lot of real special equipment or anything for it other than a die cutting machine. Layer those up, and I'm going to set that aside and let that dry. And I'm going to do the same thing with the U. And having that tiny bit of shadow behind it just, again, really makes it pop, makes it stand out. Let me get my glue here. There we go. There we go. A little bit here. Just a tiny bit everywhere. Pop that little bit of shadow off to the left. And notice I'm doing the shadow on the left a little bit on all of these. All 3 of these. The big thank you, the 4, and the U. You want to be consistent with where you place that shadowing. If you want to do it on the right, do it on the right. But just whatever you do, be consistent with where it goes. All right. So next up, we're going to start playing with these flowers. And I'm just going to kind of start to lay these in and see if this is dried. I'm going to kind of wipe some of that excess off of there so I don't get it anywhere. There we go. Anything that hasn't dried. And I'm going to lay this on here. And I like to, let me make sure I got my card opening in the right direction. I like to just kind of start placing these and put these little flowers wherever I think they're going to be fun. And just add some little bit of color in here. And I do like to lay it out first. Let me see where I can put this one maybe. That one I think kind of works there. Maybe put a little leaf up here. Add a little more green. You just start playing. I'm going to lower this one down a bit. And once I get these situated, I don't know if I'm going to use that leaf. We're going to see. So now that these are situated, I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the backs and just kind of put them into place. But I want to have this thankful where it needs to go, but I don't want to adhere the thankful yet because I need to be able to slide these flowers behind it. So put a little bit of adhesive in here. Just a wee little bit. And position these in. There's one. There we go. I'm going to leave this one kind of where it is, maybe. No, I'm going to lift it out. A little bit of adhesive again. Slide this behind the other one before it dries too much. There we go. Just press those down. And it just adds a little bit of something beautiful. If you want to leave this with just that thankful, you can absolutely do that. You don't have to add flowers, but why not, huh? Why not? It all depends on how, busy or, clean and simple you want yours to end up. Add that little bit there. And you know what? I don't know if I want to put, I think I might want this here. I like the height over here and maybe nothing more over here. That's kind of what I'm leaning toward. A little bit of glue. Just design as we go. There we go. Press that down. All right. Now I'm going to put my thankful on here. I love working with liquid glue. It took me a while to come around to it again because I always work with my tape gun. But the liquid glue actually takes me back to when I was a kid. It's just kind of fun. And it gives me a little more time to place the items on my projects too, which is really nice. If you're working with, and that's not to say that I don't work with my tape gun still. I do a lot. But when I need to be able to move things around a little bit and have some time for placement, this works really, really well. Because the tape gun, once you put that down, if you have it in the wrong place, kind of can't move that, kind of can't move it over. So I'm going to put this down and just let that sit for a moment. I don't think I'm going to use this last little piece here, but I do have the 4 and the U, and we're going to be adding those. Just give this a moment here. Do, 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 do. In the meantime, I'm going to grab 2 more little items. There we go. All right, let's see if that is enough time. Isn't that looking so sweet and so pretty? Imagine if we had this in a couple of different colors, like maybe some colors for spring. Put the 4 here. I'm going to put the U here. Oh, I'm loving this. All right. Let's say we had Christmas colors on here. If we had colors for spring, for summer, some like real, like rich, warm colors and bright colors, and it's just so fun. So here's the 4. I'm going to put it right here. There we go. 4. And then, I'll let that sit a moment. And then the U. You could put the 4 and the U on the inside as well, if you don't want it on the outside of the card. But there, that looks good. I love it. So pretty. This is the last piece, the only one we don't have a place for, because I think it would be a little too much. So here we go. That is your card. Isn't that so pretty? And look at that shine. I can even put some glossy accents in the center there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, do we have time for me to put together the envelope?
I think so.
Okay. So let me show you the little envelope set here that we have real quick. So the envelope dies, we have 3 dies. This is going to make an A2 envelope. And then we have the liner die. Whoops, here we go. Here they are. Okay. Now, let me show you what you're going to cut with these. And you're going to see how quickly this goes together. Okay. So first off, we do show you on the back of the envelope, this is your A2 envelope die, we show you what you're going to be cutting. So with this large rectangle, you're going to cut your base. And then we have 2 triangles here. You're going to cut 2 of each of those. That's all you got to cut. That's it. And so here's my little base. All right. And these are the triangles. And they're going to already be scored when you die cut them. So you're going to see that. Can you see the score line there? I don't know if it's showing up. Yeah, there you go. So I'm just going to fold these over, flatten them really quickly. I love this because you're not going to just have white envelopes all the time. You can do this with pattern paper. You can do this with the same color cardstock that you used. I happen to be using the exact same color of cardstock that I used for the word thankful. Now these 2 short ones are going to go on the short side, as you can see. And so I'm going to go ahead and get my, remember I said tape gun? So I'm just going to line this up just like so. All right, there's one. Here's the other one. Line that up, just like so. And now tape on the long side. Let me do both of them here real quick. And did I do that backwards? I did it backwards. Oopsie, why didn't somebody tell me? It's gonna go this way, so I gotta go this way. All righty. Did you know I did it backwards, Alan?
Yes.
You did? All right, so this one's gonna go this way. So what happens when I rush? Remember I said I was gonna make a mistake?
Just blame it on him.
I told everybody early on, you're gonna watch me make a mistake and then fix it. All right, so here we go. And then all you're going to do is put a little bit of tape in these corners, just like so, to line those up, all right? But if you want to have a liner die, a liner on the inside that matches, this is the same chocolate brown. This is my liner die. You can do this out of pattern paper, whatever you want. It's just so, so pretty. I'm going to put a little bit of tape in here just to hold it, do it real quick. And I'm going to line this up right in that corner, right at that edge. If I took my time, I would get that a little bit straighter, but we're going to do this kind of quickly, just to kind of show you how it all works. Lay these two down, and then look at that. You've got your beautiful coordinating
that is beautiful.
envelope.
And you know, for those of us who don't have, you know, our Cricut machines or Silhouette machines to be able to cut those out, I think that's a really great alternative. And also, since you've broken up the die into different pieces, you don't have to have a really large die cut machine as well.
That's absolutely correct.
You can use your smaller die cut machine.
Can you come to the front, Alan? Thanks. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I did that with just my regular. Actually, I did it on my platinum. It's just your regular. I think it's like a 6-inch width. I think on that plate, just a regular plate. You don't need. You know, it's not going to work on the minis, of course, but but it always gives you an option to have perfectly coordinated envelopes to go with it. Because I mean, you know, you get the card in the mail and it's amazing. But you get it in a custom coordinated envelope. I mean, really, seriously, I would keep these. I just think it's a pretty set. It also gives you a way to give somebody a set of like stationery too. If you wanted to create, you know, a few different things and give somebody these, don't write in them or anything. Now they have a set of stationery and they're just beautiful.
I could totally see having like a package of 5 wrapped up with a little ribbon or something and give that as a gift.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Perfect.
Everybody's saying that they need that envelope die. So I hope you have enough in stock for everybody, because we got a lot of people on this Zoom on this live. So,
you know, we actually have that envelope available in the A2. We have the same envelope available in a slimline as well. If you like doing slimline cards,
nice.
They go together really, really easily. I mean, you watched me. I did that in just minutes. I even messed it up once and fixed it in no time.
Absolutely. We'll definitely head over there and use the promo code. Go to stampmesomelove.com/LDRS creative. Use that promo code and grab that envelope die, because I think people are going to start snatching it up really fast. Absolutely.
Isn't it so pretty?
It is.
Wouldn't you just love to get something like that? I think it's so gorgeous.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we've got some giveaways to give away. I'm going to flip my camera over. You sent us some really cool stuff. I'm so excited to share. All right, so Harriet, can we take the giveaway link down? I think everyone's probably registered so far. So these are the cutest little tiny stamps. I'm almost afraid of how I would actually color them. They are so super small, but they are adorable. The reindeer games. I don't know if you can see it. I'll see if I can pull it up a little bit closer.
You know, Brandy, the really cool thing, because it's what you mentioned there about how you would color it. The smaller the image, I think people get intimidated because they think, how am I going to color it? What you need to keep in mind, those are my favorite images to color these days because they're so fast. You don't
Gotcha.
have room for a lot of color, so you get to be a little more basic, and the images are illustrated so beautifully that they really take care of themselves. You don't have to layer in a lot of colors and shadows and stuff like
True.
that. So they're
True.
very quick to
Absolutely.
color.
For those of us who are a little paranoid about our blending skills,
Yep.
we just, just
Don't
drop
need
some
to worry
color in
about it.
there and hey, call it done. All right. Now I'm really excited about this next one. These alphabet
Mhm.
dies, the Sophia, you've got the capital letter, the uppercase, and the lowercase.
Mhm.
Oh my God, those are so cute.
Aren't they elegant? They're so
Yes, I'm
pretty.
so into hand lettering these days.
Mhm.
And, this would definitely take care of that for me. I wouldn't have to worry about my shaky hand and stuff.
Mhm.
Those are so pretty. So pretty. All right. So we are going to give one bundle away. And I want to see in the chat who wants to win and who is excited about getting this prize pack because I'm telling you, those are adorable. All right. So we're going to draw our winner now.
Yay!
Yay! All right. The winner of the LDRS Creative prize pack goes to Cindy. Cindy's last name starts with a B and ends with an N. Thank you so much, Cindy, for
Yay, Cindy!
registering. Yay! Don't forget, we're going to be emailing all of our winners on Monday. And so be sure to be checking out your email for an email from support@Stamp Me Some Love. Make sure you check your junk folder. Make sure it doesn't get swapped up in there. And I want to share your graphic here before we forget. Harriet's telling me that I need to make sure we share your promo graphic there. And don't forget also, if you missed any of the supplies that we, excuse me, hold on a second, get a little frog. If you missed any of the supplies that we shared today, head on over to the demo, shop the demo page was at Cardmakers Success Summit /shop the demo. You're going to find all of the details and all of the promo codes that we're sharing today. Now, LDRS, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Angie, yours is actually going to be good until midnight on the 14th.
Yes.
And what time zone is that?
Eastern.
Eastern. Okay. All right. So LDRS Creative has extended their promo just a few more hours to midnight, Monday the 14th, and that's Eastern Standard Time. So definitely go and check it out. But listen, I think that envelope die is going to sell out. So if you are wanting to get that envelope die, you better get in there quick. So we've got a few minutes before our next segment, so go shop for that right now before they sell out.
All right. Awesome. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Angie. We look
I
forward
appreciate
to
it
seeing
too.
you
Thank you,
soon.
everybody. Thanks to everybody for joining me.
All righty. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
I'm serious, you guys. We have been known to sell different products out on this show. So definitely, if you're interested in getting that die, you better head over there now because who knows how many they have in stock. All right. So our next presenter is from Colorado Craft Company. We're going to be hanging out with Daniel for an hour or so. So head on over to the schedule page, cardmakersuccess.com /schedule, or shop the demo page. Either one, you're going to find the link where we can find our next presentation. And let's see. Hold on one second. Harriet is sending me a message. All right, Harriet, we'll deal about that. We'll deal with that in a second. All right, guys, let's take a quick break, and I'll see you back in just a few minutes. All right, take care. Bye-bye.